Happy 2023. On this edition of our training series, we will walk through a few photos and clips of a game from start to finish that needs to be addressed, and just better aware everybody across the state that we need to be addressing these issues other than just calling the game. So in this first picture, this should be identified in pregame as that 13 white has leggings on, and they have to be the same length by rule. I think in pregame he did, but throughout the course of the game he wears them just like this. So that needs to be addressed when it's first identified. Also, black 2 has a white undershirt on. That's illegal. It has to be black, predominant color of the uniform. So that needs to be addressed as well in the pregame. We need to make sure we're having these conversations in our captain's meeting with the players and coaches, and making sure that everybody is legally equipped is the best way to present that. Once they pull their top off, shooting top off, or you see them enter the game later, then that needs to be addressed and not be entered. Let them play in the game. This is the opening tip of this game. As you can see, the jumpers need to be on their side of the line. Black 24 is clearly on the line, and his upper arm, torso area is above and on the other side, for white practically has his hand in his face. So as the official throwing the toss up, we have to make sure top to head, from toe to head, top to bottom, that these jumpers need to be on their side of the line, not on top of it at any point in their verticality. Other issues pointed out here is that 2 black and the white player to our left, non-jumpers, 2 is not in a legal space. They have to be side by side or fully in front. Then on this side, same situation. They cannot be in each other's space. They have to be side by side, etc. So these issues need to be looked at as we get the game started off. We want to get the game started off right, with the correct tip, with the correct toss, with the proper uniform requirements, etc. So U1s are not as primary for non-jumpers. So that has to be addressed. U2 needs to be addressing black 2 and those 2 non-jumpers. And they have to be outside the circle. I'm not so sure if 34 is outside the circle. He's right there on it. 34 black. So all those things we need to be looking for before we open the game up. This is the very first or second play of the game, as these teams, who creates the contact? Okay, 3 does. Now that's very marginal contact, but as we can see here, 2 black is trying to make the turn, and then 3 white doesn't beat him to that spot. Three creates just enough contact with his right leg and his upper shoulder, right arm area, that prevents 2 from going. So this needs to be called a foul. Okay, from the start, we have to set the tone. That's the illegal guarding position. He didn't take a step left to get more in front of him as 2 black is trying to make the turn. The only reason he gave up and backed off because two or white, violated his space. Okay, this is a rebounding play on the opposite lower block on these two players. Ball is shot, and they're both locked up. Now we should be refereeing this from a center position. This is C's rebounding play right here. Okay. To me, this is a foul on Black because he initiates the block out and automatically starts to wrap his right arm around the player and then wraps his second arm around the other side to prevent him from moving. This needs to be called. This needs to be officiated from the center official. And Lee could have a whistle on this as well because he has nothing else that he is looking at. He doesn't have another matchup. Okay, so C has to have this call, needs to have this call. He's got the three. And C and Lee should be looking at this matchup. Okay, C's got to be aware of it. Lee's got to be aware of it. This is an intentional foul. This is in the first half. Once again, we have to set the tone. It's a breakaway. He's slow getting there where he is making an attempt to go for the ball, but he's so late. When I first watched this happen, I was like, don't even try and foul. And sure enough, he grabs him almost at the shoulder area. Okay? So we have to referee this and make a stand on this type of play. This is a non-basketball play. He was intentionally out to fouling and didn't make a play on the ball. Making a play on the ball is irrelevant in this situation, but he's about 10 steps behind the play and then's going to go foul. He has no intention to try and stop him other than just fouling him. So this needs to be ruled an intentional foul. It's hard to tell from this camera angle on the dribble drive here is that Black hesitates. You'll see it live, but it looks like right here the defender puts his arm on his left shoulder into his chest, upper left chest area. And you can see that he pauses a little bit, hesitates a little bit on the dribble drive. This has to be caught. This is a hand check. By rule, a hand check. You see the hesitation prevents his speed, ability from getting from point A to point B to make that turn. This needs to be called. Trell and C should have a look on this play. We have that hesitation as he's driving by the defender because he has a hand in his upper right shoulder chest area. This is a block out rebounding play. This is an easy one. If C is ball watching on this play, you can tell by the head he hasn't rotated down, and he should be picking up 24 white and the player from Black. Black's got him legally, even though he's kind of got his hand out. It ain't preventing him from getting around or anything. But we should be refereeing this, and I would say a foul on White is warranted here. Black's getting legal block, rebounding position, and we should be having a foul on White from the center position. This play here, same play from earlier. This one gets called. Same type of play from the very first play we watched coming down the floor. This is no different than it being in the back court or being in the front court. We have a hand checking call. He tries to get around him, and he's up extended into his waist area to prevent him from getting around. So let's be consistent with these calls. From start to finish. Okay, we got to be consistent with these calls. This is a block charge play. Lead has a block. Center official has to have an opinion on this as it's on his side of the floor. But when the play happens, it turns into the goal and it is ruled correctly. But we should be having at least a double whistle on this play. But C's still in the backcourt, and this is the correct call by Lead. As the defender stops and turns right before the shooter goes into motion, or as the shooter goes into motion. If he takes maybe one more step back towards the block, if the defender takes one more step back towards the block, then he probably wouldn't have a good legal guarding position to take an offensive foul. So this is a great call by Lead, and like I said, C needs to be down there to help with that play. Another rebounding play here. 34 Black goes in. Excuse me, not 34. 3 Black turns around and Black's 24 out. 3 Black has legal guarding position. All right, whether they are moving from point A to point B, they maintain their positions, and then 24 White goes up and over him, and when there is no whistle, and goes to the ground and there's no whistle. We cannot be penalizing the stronger, more athletic team when teams do things right. All right, we should be refereeing. Lee should be refereeing this play. C should be refereeing the other block over there, opposite from Lead. But Lead should have an opinion and have a whistle on this play. The opinion that was given to the coach of this game was that Black walked up underneath it, so they decided to go with a no call. A foul's a foul, whether he walked up underneath him or not. But in this play, to me, Black has legal guarding position. 24 ends up jumping, and it looks like he jumps kind of up into him. Just because Black doesn't have, because if Black walked up underneath him, he would have fallen and never had possession with the ball. So Lead has got to have a good look on this play. This is an offensive foul on the guard. Trail needs to step down and get that angle. Okay, then contact is initiated by white and then extends. Okay, once again, we have created a displacement and a no call against the black team. So white, or the trails needs to get down, or excuse me, this is C in this matter, needs to get down and referee the play. Get and see the angle and referee the defense. And he would clearly see that contact was made by white and then he extends. Another block charge play by lead. I believe it's correctly called a block as the defender ends up taking his right side of his body and steps up underneath him. And now you see he bellies up. That's a great call by lead. This is an armbar play that didn't get called. As you can see, he's driving, trying to get around, and then it gets extended. Okay. He's right here, 21 White's already extended his arm, even though one goes into him. Right here, 21 creates the contact to prevent him from getting around him. Okay, and then we have an armbar right here. We have to call this play consistently. This matches up with her other two plays of hand checking or a body check in this game. Now a blocking foul coming from lead. This play comes from trail, secondary defender. I'm not sure if we have a double whistle on this, but great job by Leaf on picking up the secondary defender on this, as 21 White is Trail's primary defender on this play. This is a great foul call by lead on this. As you can see that right here, what number is that? 4. Clearly, he wraps his arms around him. Then C needs to get in here. We got bodies on the floor and help clean this play up. All right. Just because we're at trail or C doesn't mean we stop officiating. Dead ball officiating, we have to get in there and get it cleaned up. Also on this play, the C official turns around and asks the coach to push his bench back. Nothing on this play, during the play anyway, says he's on the floor. I don't know if he is or not. Either way, this needs to be addressed before the game, not during the game. This needs to be addressed. You know, we're looking at our uniforms, we're looking at our, tights and sleeves and all that stuff. This also needs to be addressed in pregame. Both benches need to be the same off the sideline and inside the coach's box. So stuff like that needs to be addressed during the game. Now you're talking to one coach and not the other. Okay? This play here is a foul. It is called a foul from C, and it's a late whistle, and it's probably the whistle's not blown until the rebound tip happens. Foul's a foul. Okay, we were waiting on if the ball goes in or not. Foul's a foul. He gets fouled right there with his left arm. Defender's left arm fouls him on the way up, and we don't blow it till there. And we got to call that quicker. It doesn't matter if the ball is going in or not. Okay. Next trip down, we had the same thing. There wasn't much on this play, but we just had one on the other end. So now we're matching plays. You can probably make the case that 13 or whatever that number is, 13 White hits him on the elbow, but it needs to be blown quicker. This is a travel play. He's dribbling, hands it off, possesses it with left foot down, right foot, dribble, travel. Illegal. Or to me, that's incorrect call. He possesses it, left foot down. Okay. Travel play is caught with his I don't know. You can say he caught it with his right foot down. You can say he caught it, possessed it with in the air. To me, right there, he does not have possession of it. He's possessed it there, left foot down, right, left. Okay, left, dribble, right, left. Left, dribble, right down, left, pass. So we need to, that's a very marginal type play to call. It's 32-20 late in the first half. That's 50-50. That's very marginal. We need to have definite knowledge. Rebounding play. Again, I believe White goes up to shoot. White steals it. Safely secures when we have timeout. Okay, lead is still up off the baseline in this play. All right. Make sure lead. We can hold up and trail the play, but lead needs to finish this out on the baseline so we can clearly see he's blind. He's straight lined from White and Black, sticking his hand in and poking it out, and he needs to be down on the. You need to be down on the baseline as you're going to lead here. After the shooter goes up, finish up and get on the baseline. Have a blocking foul. From lead, once again, if we're hustling at center, then we have a whistle on this play. Okay. 14 is to a spot, but then he leans over as White still tries to attempt to go around for the shot. That's correct blocking play, blocking foul. But once again, C's got to come in and have a whistle on this. Get in the rule book, get in the mechanic book, and know what your primaries are. This is a dunk. Nobody's around him. He swings, elbows are at 90 degrees. He doesn't immediately let go. Technical foul for hanging on the rim. Okay. If he doesn't kind of halfway chin up on his swing back, I think we can let this go. But since this player dunked kind of, and his elbows are 90 degrees right here, even though he's looking down at a player, he could have immediately let go instead of pulling up. If he pulls up and swings back, he can easily get down without any issues. Okay, so once again, we have to referee these plays. If his arms are straight lined as he swings back and immediately lets go, there's nothing there. But he pulled up, elbows and arms are at 90 degrees before he lets go to make sure, see if Black gets underneath him. This should have been a technical foul. We have a offensive foul play here. Okay. "24 White plays pretty good defense there, trailing 21 White slides over. C needs to take a step down and referee that drive to the basket. Lead needs to take a step down and have a secondary look at this play since it's a secondary defender. Lead is looking at the other block at two players as this drive develops, has a Black defender in front of him has an offensive player and a defender in front of him. In a straight line. There's no way Lead can look at this play and have a whistle on it. C's got to take a step, 2-3 steps in on that drive with the drive and have a whistle on this play. Now, as the ball dribbler is making his way into C's primary, Lee should be stepped down and rotated over as well. But this is a block, not a charge. 21 White still sliding under him. Didn't maintain legal guarding position. So, two things. Trail needs to rotate over and get in position and see that, or Lee needs to rotate over and get in position to see this. C needs to take the drive to the basket by stepping down and taking that play all the way. This is a play on the three-point shot where Black comes in out of nowhere flying. Makes a pretty good block. You can make a case that his body hit that elbow right there as he was coming through, swiping down. I think the swipe hits the ball by the way the shooter has reacted and just goes straight down. And C's got a pretty good look at that. He's in between. But just be aware of those plays and make sure we got a good look on it. All right, so we got a drive to the basket. See, lead rotates over and he's ready to receive this play this time. One makes his move around 3. And we have a blocking foul on 13 White. White breaks the plane, all right? He did not maintain his verticality. He did jump straight up in his space, defensive space, but he breaks his verticality right there. Good call by Lee. Good call by Trail. This is ruled an intentional foul in the end, but we have to come up quicker than that. Okay? So there's a lot going on right here. The game is, if I have the score here, 55-24. So we're in a 20-point game early in the fourth, and we have an intentional foul. If we call that first one, I'm not going to say the second one doesn't happen, but if we call the first one early in the game, that sets the tone. We should know in our mindset, in our pregame, that every night out, we need to be ready for everything. But this is a no-brainer. He clearly wraps him up. Yeah, he prevents him from falling, but he didn't make a play on the ball and grabs his shoulders, et cetera, et cetera. So Lee should be coming in and hitting with that intentional. Now, as he's reporting the foul, we need to be getting the players back. Nobody's getting the players back until after he's reporting the foul. Every free throw, we need to be ready to go, bouncing the ball to the shooter when the official is finished reporting the foul and turns around. There's too much conversation and not knowing what's going on right here. So we're bouncing the ball, and then the other official, center official, calls it off, trying to figure out what's going on. We need to be on the same page. Okay, that's why we pregame. Be on the same page and be efficient when we are putting the ball out of bounds and when we are shooting free throws. Okay? Makes the game go smooth. It's a game management thing. Okay, we want to be good game managers. Okay, we got a Black goes up here. It's hard to tell. I think he gets fouled. Once again, game management. It's 57-24, 3 minutes left in the game. And we have to be good game managers. I'm not saying we make up things, but we need to be aware of where we're at in the game and have good game management. Same thing on that play. Lead hasn't made it all the way down to the baseline. Right? We've got to hustle and get in position. This play here, I feel like he gets the ball there, but then we have a foul right after that. After the ball gets knocked loose, then he hits his arms. Or we should have a jump ball. But in this case, like I said, game management. Game management. Two minutes left in the game. Okay, so the next play down, we have this play. 57-27, 30-point game. We just let 2 plays go against Maumelle, against White. Then we're going to go down and have a foul against Black. When I don't think he really did anything. He just ran him beside him. We haven't called that consistently all night. Okay? This is not a good game management play. Okay? So, biggest thing is make sure we're pre-gaming. We're getting the hand checks. Just because a team is more athletic doesn't give them the right to displace because the other team is not as athletic. We need to be consistent with those calls. We need to know our game management skills when putting the ball out of bounds for throw-ins, administering our free throws. Have good management skills in blowout games. Okay, we had opportunities to put whistles on White there in the last 3 or 4 minutes, and fouls end up with 2 minutes left here, 6-2, and then we just had another one now, 7-2. When White's the more physical team. Okay, so pre-game that, be consistent with it, and have a great start